This is a workplace health and safety hazard for sure.
Don't do this at home.
We're onto cab framing today. Well, just building the cab storage in general. You can see we've kind of popped up our trial roof behind us, and I'm gonna let Lindsay explain what we're doing.
For the cab area, we're gonna put up this 4mm marine ply as like a ceiling. We're gonna have to screw that up into this beam that the roof structure here, and have it attached to the roof all the way down to the curb at the front, just behind us. We're going to attach a 15mm ply like shelf from about this level, just above the windows, all the way across. So we're going to do it in two parts. So we're going to install an extra little structural beam, sort of, well, this ceiling's in the way at the moment, but basically between this roof beam and that thing at the front. And we're going to curve the ceiling down and screw it into the top of this. And then we're going to cut a second like triangular piece of ply that'll cover up from like here down to where our shelf is going to go. Add some pocket hole and use some metal screws to screw it straight into this part here, and same thing up here.
It should be easy as pie, right?
Yeah. Let's get to it. The bottom shelf of our storage area is going to screw into these brackets, and we're going to screw down into it. We're going to do 3 of these little brackets down each side. So 1, 2, 3. The shelf will also be supported by this beam. So the shelf will sit about here like this. We're just going to put some blocks between the shelf and this beam to tie that together all the way across the front. The shelf is coming to about here to line up with our wall where the fridge will be. And then there's also going to be like a front face to this storage area, which will be a piece of plywood. Get all these brackets lined up nicely. I'm just going to screw this piece of pine in as if it were like the shelf. I didn't get the first one 100% straight just because nothing is like straight in here, so there's not many reference points to go off. I just sort of lined it up with the crease in this folded metal beam here. So I'm just gonna like screw that on, and then I'm just gonna tweak it a little bit, and then use this to line up the drill holes for the other brackets along here. I know screwing it from the top is not the best method structurally. Obviously, it would be better to use bolts or something. I figure because there's going to be so many of these little screws, they will distribute the load between them and be fine. The other thing is, like, we're not going to be storing anything super heavy up here. It's like a storage that's like above the shoulders, so it's just going to be things like blankets, like anything kind of bulky. Yeah, so nothing particularly heavy. This shelf will also be supported by something off of this roof beam, so that'll take a lot of the load, and this piece back here, and we're using a really nice quality marine ply, so it should be fine. Should not fall onto our heads while we're driving. Now that I've got this test piece screwed into the first bracket, I can sort of, what I'm going to do is like tweak the angle a little bit like this, and I'm going to install the end bracket next. So down here, and what I did for the first one was I marked the drill holes with pencil first, and took the bracket away, drilled through, and then put my metal screws. We've got these metal screws with the little drill point on the tip. These are really cool, but they are not great if the metal you're screwing through is too thick, because they just sort of get blunt and don't do anything. This is, I think, it's like 2 layers of like 1 mil. It's probably the equivalent of like 3 mil of steel. So drilling a small pilot hole first really helps this get in. What I'm going to do is line it up with the window, because we're going to be looking at it from underneath while we're driving, so we want it to be straight from this perspective. And I didn't get the first bracket perfectly straight, but that's fine because they've got a little bit of flex to them. Look, that level looks really good. How am I going to do this? I need Alicia to hold to help me with this. I need more hands. It's always better to work together and stuff. It's hard to do this by yourself. What am I going to do? I should probably get the clamp. I don't really feel like it though, but... Cut to a time lapse. Okay, so we've got all 3 brackets installed nicely on this side. Would have liked to spread them a little further along. As I said, this shelf's going to be supported in in several different spots around the side, so yeah, we should be fine. But obviously, like after we install the shelf, we'll put some objects on there just to test if it like deflects any when we like put some weight on it, and if it does, we can add some additional structure. Like we can add like a central post that comes down, holds the middle, and we can add like a little frame in the middle, like a truss type thing. Yeah, there's things we can do. I'm just going to see how this goes first.
Oh, well, it fits much better this time because you've chopped it.
Yeah, because I've chopped it to the correct size.
Should we fit a piece first and see how it looks before
I think the width is pretty... Let's test the middle. I think the middle is a good starting point.
Just need to trim the end off of it.
You just want to put a snip mark with the scissors. The good thing about the wool is you can just repurpose that little strip.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, should we glue it?
Yep, so you just want the glue to come to like here.
I was just going to glue the wool.
Ah, okay. Yep.
Feels so wrong to be wetting timber after we've spent so much time trying to keep it dry.
Nice and bendy. Just cooked up some tasty soup. It's working, it just needs to work better. We need more bend. The most wet side should go on the convex, I think, because it needs to stretch the furthest.
Oh my god.
Don't be silly.
No, this isn't going to work.
No.
Take it out.
Are you sure?
It needs to go back up the way you had it and then just try and fold it up over the brackets. Oh,
Ooh. Oh,
okay.
I think this is going to work. Can it slide that way?
not really.
Because the other piece of plywood will come up and meet it there. I think it's fine.
Does it need to be flush with
Yeah,
this?
so slide it fine. Done. So we've cut these side bits. We've cut the curve of the roof into that. That was very tedious to get it right. And so now these are going to sit on top of these brackets, and we're going to screw this into these beams we've installed previously. And then when that's held up in place, it forms a nice side thing, and yeah.
We've got our little side pieces on. They were a little bit tedious to cut, but very happy to have them in. And now Lindsay's just measuring out the front bit, which is going to go across here. And then hopefully we'll get our shelf in today.
Check out this fitment.
Oh my god, that looks great.
That's the temp.
Very
So the
good.
trick is to use a compass. This is my
Give
one
us a
from
look.
year 12 graphics.
Very good. How good is the cab area looking? As long as you don't look too close.
Don't show them that. Show them the good bits like this. Look, perfect.
You gotta show the janky bits. Nice.
To get it in, see if we can shut the door.
And it's going underneath the brackets.
We also need to check the width and stuff.
So how are we... Am I in the right spot here? I feel
No,
like
you need to
I
know.
need to be on the other side. I think we just start to lift it and then I sneak
Open
under.
the door. And go out. And now I can move it here, and then you can get up there.
Alright, and then wait, let's just lift it and see what happens.
Someone's gonna get a broken back.
Okay, just try not to scratch the fucking tint up. Okay, ready? Oh fuck, I heard something crunch. Oh shit, it looks fucking sick.
How's the width?
Yeah, it's literally perfect.
Can you close the door and put the wool in?
I mean, open the
Because
door?
I'm vibrating.
Okay, okay. Just rest it anyway.
Can you screw my side in there?
Okay. Alright, are you ready? Oh, it's really awkward to get the drill in and out. The screws are going in on a bit of an angle because that's just the best we can do.
Okay.
Are you right?
Yeah.
I also can't reach beyond the first bracket.
Oh. Shit.
So I'll do the first bracket and then I'll go in and hold it. Oh, fuck! Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Oh my god, my skull is vibrating!
Got the bulk of the cab area done. We just have to kind of like fine tune the dimensions and stuff and trim some bits. But yeah, it was significantly more challenging than we expected to build the cab storage. All we have to do now is trim the front of that. So Lindsay's used his little high school contraption there to measure it out. And then we'll trim the back of it as well so that it's not overhanging. We'll whack a layer of paint on it as well. But turned out pretty good. Once we're finished the rest of the bust and we're doing the final finishes, we'll throw like a front on there and have a little cupboard as well, so you won't be able to see how janky it is on the inside. Today we are finishing off painting the cab storage. That's how the timber looks before, and then this is with one coat of the whitewash. So we'll see how that looks as it dries and then decide if we want another coat. But we really wanted to be able to see all those beautiful patterns. So it looks pretty good so far. Happy?
Yep. Let's go to Bunnings. So we're using the world's smallest pencil to mark where to trim the ceiling of the cab storage area. Because I can't think of another way to do it. We just need to chop this end so it's going to be flush with this beam basically.
We've got some of our cab stuff in for the final time this time. And we're gonna chuck these little blocks up here, and that's what the shelf is gonna be adhered to, as well as these brackets. And Lindsay's using another high school tool to mark some lines there so that we can see once the shelf's installed where we should line up to blindly screw it into these. We have got another Azedo tool for the collection. And we're gonna try painting the varnish onto our cab storage with the spray gun. Because it's quite a big step for me. Oh, I've immediately ruined it.
So how do you need to be? Do you want to like turn around that way and have your back prepared to...
And you just slide it onto my back.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll just get ready to be mounted. I feel like I should be at least helping a bit. Alright, and then rest it on the seats.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll get into position. Have you got it?
Human, like forklift, not forklift,
Okay,
like a...
go. Just slide it up, it's not on me yet.
Okay. This is amazing. Now.
Fix the door. I can see mould in the seatbelts in here.
Oh, okay. Lift up. If possible. Okay, almost there.
Thank you.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
This is ridiculous. This is a workplace health and safety hazard for sure. Are you right?
I feel like I've somehow got both the easiest and the hardest job.
Are you right there?
Yeah, but just don't go slow. I'm on my tippy toes. Do not do this at home.
Oh, hang on. I didn't need to go and get those anyway, because I can just do this.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Hurry up. Still hold it though.
It's done.
Oh, all of the brackets.
For now. You can let go.
Okay. Oh. We have cap storage.
So that's gonna sit up there. So
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it looks good.
So we can just get something to cover this.
Yeah.
There was no real way to get it together.
You can just get something soft to go around the edges even.
Just put a few more of these screws in.
I think a second coat of the whitewash would have been good on this. To make it a lot whiter. Like it's just kind of gone light brown. So we'll know on the future pieces to actually do 2 coats.
Okay, yeah. Do you have any strength left?
Yeah.
No, but not, yeah, right there. Thank you. Do you have any strength left?
Yeah. We used this leftover embroidery string from a hobby I never finished to mark where these little chucks are so that we could easily see if we were in line with where they were. What are you pondering? I was trying to take an action video and you stopped to ponder.
I'm just thinking about it. Questioning our life choices with those gaps and...
Oh, look, don't worry about the gaps. Stop looking at the gaps.
Okay, yeah. Time to move on. Let's get these screws in, but I don't know actually how we're gonna... Oh no, it should be right.
This is how it looks. It's all painted so that it's protected from mold. That's the only reason that we've painted everything. And we are gonna carpet up in here. We're gonna use this just like vehicle carpet with a 4-way stretch in it, and we're gonna use that to cover up the whole thing. And that should hopefully conceal all these little gaps that was making Lindsay question his life choices. The only other thing that we've done is add this little bracket here onto the framing. This will be moved once we install a wall here, but we just wanted to give it an extra bit of stability while we were driving. And this is how it looks from underneath. Pretty nice. We're gonna pop some just like a rope or something around the edges here to conceal that. But we're very happy with how it's turned out.